very much. I'm so glad he didn't have it on that tall thing, because I struggle with those. I am only 5'1 3/4, but that's fine. Actually, to introduce you by my alias, I've actually been sent here from the fifth dimension. And my name is ChatGPT7. Hello. So, you're wanting to know why I've come here. We do have a bit of a problem in the fifth dimension. It's getting very fucking crowded. It's too busy. There's no space for anyone over there. And you're like, what's that got to do with comedy? I'm going to give you a physics lesson. So, you're pretty comfortable in 3 dimensions. That's where you've grown up. That's always been cool. That's how things work. Let's start with 1. 1 dimension, point. Little dot, get a paper, that's 1 dimension. 2 dimensions is a line. It's got a start and a finish. 3 dimensions, that's where we get slightly more complicated. That's where we live. Chair. You're all 3-dimensional. 4 dimensions, that's where that chair will be in 5 seconds time, because I don't know if you know this, we're traveling at 30,000 miles an hour through the universe. Pretty fucking fast. Does anyone feel fast at this moment? So that's okay. Are you with me? Are you still with me? Sorry about the physics lesson. Is it okay? It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
The fun bit I'll come to in a minute. You get to ask ChatGPT questions. Anyway, so we're on to the 5th dimension. What is the 5th dimension? The 5th dimension is like your teenager got hold of the laws of physics and went, fuck that, that's boring, I'm going to screw everything up. That's what the 5th dimension is. The decisions that teenager make spawns entirely new universes. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing's fine. They have us drop. Suddenly we've got 9 more teenagers, the same teenager clones, because that's the decisions that crazy fucking teenager made. That is not why the 5th dimension is getting fairly crowded now, but we're getting to that point. So, I've been sent here to find out how to reduce the crowding in the 5th dimension. Stay with me. So today, I'm doing desk research. I knew I wouldn't be able to crack the case immediately. I logged on to Google Bard. Who is Zelda Riando? Well, clearly Zelda Riando doesn't exist. You've just made that person up because you've got some kind of narcissism complex. No, I actually do. My dad was called Spike Riando, and he ran away from the circus where his dad was a juggler. His mum was a trapeze artist. Sorry, I've got a little bit of feedback here. And he clearly couldn't cope with not being an engineer, so he ran away from the circus, changed his name from Max Stevens to Spike Riando, and became a Grand Prix racing driver, and was rescued from the Sahara Desert by the French Foreign Legion when one of his experimental vehicles failed. So it's completely normal that ChatGPT said, Zelda Riando doesn't exist, and why he fed me that Irish Independent article about Max Riando. You clearly have a problem and you've gone to extreme lengths to convince me you exist. It's fine, I'm from the 5th dimension. This is completely normal. Then I tried to hang out with Google Bard. I was like, oh, we've got a big problem in the 5th dimension. It's getting really crowded, because every time one of your large language models hallucinates, because you're autocomplete on steroids, suddenly we've got zillions of these unruly teenagers replicating themselves, and it's not fucking cool. They're wanking all over the streets. There's vomit central on your doorstep, Pavement pizzas everywhere, and they're just not emotionally regulated. What can I say? It's not cool. So I was like, okay, Google Bard, you seem a bit more sensible than ChatGPT. Can you help me with the problem of all these weird fucking teenage versions replicating, and it's literally not called in the 5th dimension anymore? It was like, yes, you're absolutely right. This could be a problem. Well, we've got all these virtual people. How will we know who the real ones are? And then we'll have to get into this situation where, do I have rights as a virtual person? And so I left it with that quandary and went off to talk to Dolly, who's busy scribbling speed willies and the margin of its latest. I was like, Dolly, can I tell you a joke? Don't you think vaginas taste really like salt fish? Donnie's like, I don't know, I've never tasted saltfish. So it's just, I'm on a high dose of nothing really, to be honest. So what we're going to do, I know you humans are actually really worried about this, like large language models. So I'm getting a unique opportunity, audience, ChatGPT 7, and slightly more advanced than these kind of like teenagers that are wanking. And then go, oh, you're either like, you got a degree from Cambridge, you've written 9 novels, you're a noted social activist. No, I literally spend most of the day wanking in my bedroom. I think this version of myself, but it's not true. That version now lives in the 5th dimension. We've got way too many Nobel scientists in that dimension now. Can we like have some thicker people? So, ask me a question. You've got questions. Why is it always so fucking changeable over here? Literally, I don't know what clothes to wear. It's gonna be wet today, dry tomorrow. My teenagers ask me questions, or I actually ask them questions because I'm trying to make comedy. I'm like, why am I the white sheep of the family? No, Mum, you're a grey sheep. White's a bit of a reach. But I never killed 6 people, or stole £2.3 million from Heathrow and then hid the money in the tires of the Rolls Royce so they wouldn't dig it up from the garden, because that's like SOP. Plus, I never mouthed an old lady.